Hello everyone. In this video lecture session, let's have a overview about nuclear fission reaction process and nuclear fission reactor aspects. First of all, what is this nuclear fission? What is the purpose of analyzing this reaction process? Like this, some of the questions may arise in our mind. So, nuclear fission aspects, if you are saying many process, it will be happening in forms of nuclear energy as well as the reactions as well as the chain reactions. Likewise, nuclear energy having a connection interlinkages in this reactor aspects. So in this video session we are going to discuss about how the reaction process will be and how this reactor works accordingly to the nuclear fusion aspects. First of all, what are all the contents about this nuclear fission? One by one, let's have a look. Benefits of nuclear energy. Before going for any nuclear fission process, we have to undergo the basic source. What are all the benefits of nuclear energy? Continuous reliable supply of energy. So, which energy, whether we are getting continuously or incontinuously, we are having any breakage, and how it is happening in the commercial aspects and how the environmental surroundings, everything we have to be in contact with this environmental, eco-friendly as well as nuclear aspects. So while discussing these types of nuclear energy benefits, we have to see about reliable supply of energy, well developed technology by having a reactor of so much commercial experience. So basic thing, commercial experience. So continuous reliable supply of energy, that's coming under well developed technology. At the same time, look at the second point, extensive fuel supply. So extensive fuel supply aspects we have to look in the process of nuclear energy. Why I'm continuously telling these two major points? Because the first primary point is reliable supply of energy while considering this as a major nuclear energy benefit. Then parallelly we are looking the extensive fuel supply. So considering that also, in the extensive fuel supply, we are considering two subdivision categories. That is breeder reactors, another one is fissile material. So overall speaking, while discussing this benefits of nuclear energy, continuous reliable supply of energy should be needed in terms of the well developed technologies, and also extensive fuel supply, it's going to happen. So breeder reactors, fissile materials other than the uranium, everything we are considering in this nuclear energy aspects. First of all, what is nuclear fission? Because in the previous slide we have discussed about the benefits. Now we are coming to discuss a major point about this video lecture session, nuclear fission. What is the process? The process of splitting a nucleus into two nuclei. So fission in the sense process of splitting. So behind that, what is happening? So as I already said, process of splitting a nucleus into two nuclei with smaller masses. So this is very important keyword, because splitting generally in terms we are saying we have to split it, make it two, but how? Smaller masses. There are varieties of mass criteria while discussing in these types of this protons, neutrons, everything. But in this fission process, the splitting is happening in between the two nuclei with smaller process. Fission means to divide. So the exact synonym of fission is to divide. So we have to remember 2s, that means splits. So that is for the shortcut purpose for our understanding. Nuclear fission, look at the side diagram, large atom. Here we are separating into two separate atoms. That's what mentioned in different colors, plus energy. This is what our basic ideology about this nuclear fission. Here comes the continuation of the nuclear fission process. Look at the diagrams first. What is that? Low speed neuron which is getting captured, and then thermal energy is happening, then various high speed neutrons is going in different aspects, because this example is uranium 235. When the fission reaction is happening, it is giving off the energy, at the same time fission products and high energy neutrons. So overall speaking, in this fission contribution we are discussing the low speed neutrons, at the same time thermal energy contribution. Now look at the first point. Only large energy with atomic numbers above 90 can undergo fission. So overall speaking, we have to discuss 90% of the fission can undergo with the help of the large nuclei. But products of the fission reaction usually include 2 or 3 individual neutron. Now look at the figure, compare it, then you can understand how the neutrons, low speed neutrons, getting captured in uranium 235. So that is our major scenario. So products of the fission reaction usually include 2 or 3 individuals, but in total mass, if you are considering, it is less than the uranium T35. So look at the diagram sidelines, that means downline, that is one thing which I already mentioned. Once again I am repeating, uranium 235 in this fission reaction is giving off the energy, fission products and high energy neutrons. Overall considering, it should not be above 90%. Here comes the chain reaction. The chain reaction is an ongoing series of fission reaction. Billions of reactions occur each second in a chain reaction. So, billions of reaction occurs each second in a chain reaction is a general statement. But what is exactly happening? Look at the side diagram and look at the 3 points. First thing, in the first process, a neutron is about to hit the nucleus of a uranium atom. So first of all, hitting the nucleus of an uranium atom is the first process. So in this chain reaction, one point we have to keep in mind, ongoing series of fission reaction. Not only a single reaction is happening, continuously the process mechanism is happening. So that's why in the second point they are mentioning billions of reactions occur each second in a chain reaction. Now look at the second point. The uranium nucleus splits into several smaller atoms. So what is the first process? Neutron is about to hit the nucleus of a uranium atom. Next, continuously it's happening, the uranium nuclei splitting into several atoms. Finally, it is releasing the several neutrons. So overall speaking, while discussing these types of chain reaction, we have to undergo process by process for understanding the whole nuclear energy aspects, because otherwise a confusion pattern may happen. Where is the neutron, how it is happening, how the uranium process will be happening, everything will make us confused. So better avoiding that confusion, we have to keep in mind a neutron is about to hit the nucleus of the uranium atom. Now the second process is the uranium nucleus splits into several smaller atoms, releasing that several more neutrons. Then the third process is chain reaction. So in this chain reaction, those neutrons hit another nuclei, causing them into fission. The continuation of this chain reaction, in the earth we are considering nuclear fission reaction. At the same time, in place of nuclear reactor, which used controlled chain reactions to generate electricity. So this is our major chain reaction process in occurrence of this nuclear fission reactions. Here comes the continuation. Uncontrolled chain reactions takes place during the explosion of atom bomb, and also the fission products. In our commercial products, we are considering nuclear fission reactions as well as the radioactive, but at the same time energy released from these reactions is very less harmful to the environment, because the major example, the use of fossil fuels. At the same time, the products are intensely radioactive and must be treated or not stored. Here comes the fusion works. While considering the water or other moderated slows neutrons, but at the same time uranium-235 having a various process starting from the neutrons. Look at the diagram. Neutrons, neutron with nucleus, unstable nucleus, then the separation of the neutron reaction. It is splitting into energy reactions, and the neutrons are getting released as a reaction repetition. So this is what fusion working scenario. So here comes a common light vector reactor, pressurized water reactor. So this is the diagram showing the uranium fuel cycle. Overall, how about recyclable uranium, plutonium, everything is happening, chemical processing, enriched uranium, and energy life cycle of the nuclear power based on the overall energy source, contribution of the mass, and conversion to energy contribution depending upon the various aspects: coal, crude oil, lignite, natural gas, hydroelectricity, wood. Depending upon this, various contributions, starting from the mass, starting from the energy, starting from the contribution of energy, everything we are considering in this energy life cycle of nuclear power. So radioactive waste, if you are considering the waste as a storage or disposal point of view, for example, you come out and reprocess plant fuel. For safety aspects, only fatalities from commercial nuclear power plants occurred as the Chernobyl, because it must overcome public fear. Here comes the generation 4 reactors. In the fourth generation, these are all the various types of reactors happening under the process of this nuclear fission reactions. This is fast breed reactors, U-238 coming under plutonium-239, fissile like U-235. At the same time, it should not depleted uranium stockpiles, because it could use up the depleted uranium stockpiles. So the fast breed reactors, if you are considering about economically or not, it is not at all economically impractical. But at the same time, costly oriented also, it's having some challenges, difficulties in operation, but effective in some other reaction process. So overall summary overview about this nuclear fission is, it is viable energy source, it cuts down on CO2 emissions, improving air quality, and issue of radioactive waste will need to be addressed. Here comes the reference material for our downloading purpose, the energy and the challenges of sustainability, and the perspective of modern physics, and the introduction of modern physics. Introduction of these are all the reference materials, and the textbooks also involved in environmental science and engineering from the McGraw International Edition for your reference purposes. So you can download the links and download the animation concepts on this video links also. You can refer for the further guidance. Thank you everyone for your patience listening. Thank you.